Hello and welcome back to Rue's Life. I'm in the shed at the moment and it's actually nice and cool in here, but it's really hot outside. And what I actually want to do, and it is not an ideal time to be doing it, is finally get the squash out. Now I've been holding fire with them for a number of reasons. I wanted to get on top of the slug situation, which a combination of me having used the nematodes and also it's really dry at the moment, so of course we have less slugs. So I've got on top of that situation. I'm ready to go. I also wanted those plants to be really nice and mature before they go into the ground. So I've got a lot of plants, they're looking really good, and I'm going to put them in. Now ideally, and my original plan was to put them in really early this morning, but because we're here on the farm, obviously the animals have to come first over plants. Yes, I'm growing for Chris and I for food, but the animals have to come first, and when the weather's like this and it's this hot, obviously there's risk of dehydration and so on. So this morning I was a little bit slow to get going. I've been a little bit migrainey of late, probably the weather. So I was just a bit slower than I normally would be getting going this morning, and then by the time I'd been and checked all the water, made sure the sheep are okay, they're all actually tucked under the hedges, and they've got plenty of fresh water. Little pony again, lots of fresh water. He has got some hay this morning, and again I've put him under, he's not under the hedge, but I've put the hay in the shade of the hedgerow, so he's got a nice cool place to be. And actually up on the higher ground here there is quite a nice breeze today. And then the two big horses, I've actually brought them in for the day, so they've had a good dousing of fly spray. They're in their boxes where it's nice and cool, and they've got lots of fresh water, which just gets them off the grass, because we've got a lot of grass where they are at the moment. And I don't want them getting overweight or other illnesses that are related to overdoing it on the grass. And it's also just nice for them to get out of that heat and away from the flies, which we tend to get more flies coming out of that long grass. So that's why I'm a little bit late this morning to get going. However, there's never, we have to fit things in, don't we? And I need to get these squash in the ground, and I'm kind of stuck now. I've missed this morning's window. If I wanted another cool spell, I would do them this evening, but that's when the slugs are more likely to come out at night, especially if I've just watered. So I'm going to kind of do a bit of a compromise. Everywhere's watered. I'm just going to get them in. So enough of me waffling on. Let's get out and get these squash into that squash bed. I've got my bottle of water to keep myself hydrated. I've got my sun hat here behind me if I need it. I've got a bobble so I can tie my hair up because it can get a bit hot. It's quite useful, my long hair, at stopping my shoulders from burning, but it can get a bit hot. So I'm prepared. Again, I'm waffling. Maybe the sun's got to me already. I don't know. Let's get on and get these squash into the ground. So I'm hoping you can see me through all the string and the poles, and I've got a few varieties here, and I'm really pleased with how they've come on. I've got my trowel, my knee pads, my gloves, and I've got some chicken poop pellets. And I find these really effective when I'm putting my squash in. Squash really like to start out with a good boost of a good fertiliser, so I either put some well rotted horse manure or some chicken poop pellets into the hole as I'm planting them and give them a really good water, and that gives them, I find, a really good start. I also make a little mound as I'm planting them, so when I water them I try to water around the base, and then you get that nice runoff to the roots. So we try to avoid watering the leaves because they're not overly keen on that. That said, I will be using my sprinkler system, so they're going to get water. And of course, once they're outside, you can't stop the rain, and the rain will fall onto the leaves. But I do find that sort of mound, they seem to like that, and they seem to grow well. They also like to be really firm into the ground. So as I say, I've got a few varieties. So I have got Uchiki Kuri, my absolute favourite. I haven't got as many of those this year because I had less germination, but I've got some, so I'm happy. I've got some Crown Prince, which are around here somewhere. Everything but. There are some Crown Prince amongst these plants. I've also got Scallop Yellow Bush, which are the lovely little petty pan ones. I have got Waltham Butternut. I haven't had huge success with butternut in the past because they just don't get big enough, but even if I get a harvest of little butternuts, I'll be happy. And then lastly, I've got pumpkin jack-o'-lantern, which are your big traditional pumpkin, and I'm hoping to get at least 2 so that we can carve them, because Chris and I are big kids at heart, and we do like to carve a pumpkin for Halloween. So my plan, the same as I did last year, I will be growing my squash up my squash frames. However, the jack-o'-lantern, because they're such a big pumpkin, I'm not keen to grow those up. And I'm going to try and grow those down the middle, because I'm hoping that they're going to be some of the last that I will harvest. So what I need to do now is sort them out, decide who's going where, and then crack on. And as I say, I will dig a hole. I will put a nice handful of chicken poop pellets into the hole and plant them in, a little mound of earth around them, good firming, and then I'll give them a good water. There are a few weeds in here as well, not too many because I've been keeping on top of them, but I'll just weed those as I go. You know, as I get to that section where there's a weed, I'll just pop those out. So I just need to get myself a little tub to put the weeds in. So let's go. So I'm in desperate need of a drink of water, but that is the squash in. All I need to do now is give them a good watering, and I will pop a couple of beer traps out as well. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Do drop me a comment below to let me know if you've planted your squash out this year and what varieties you're growing. Are you further ahead than me? Are you about the same, or are you somewhere behind? Last year I was way behind because I put them out and then they got annihilated by the slugs, and I had to re-sow everything, so I was really behind, but I still had a really decent harvest. So if you think you are behind at the moment, or if you've had a similar experience to that, oh, very posh horse wagon just gone past. So if you've had a similar experience and you think you're behind, don't give up, get them in, because I still ended up with a lovely harvest around September, October time. So as ever, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon.